Hello, Mr. Moss here, and in this video we're going to be looking at how you can read large numbers. It's a skill that sometimes can be tricky for fourth graders or other kids, so we're going to take a look at some different strategies that you can use to get better with it. So let's start off with some easier ones. There's going to be a lot of pausing in this video where you pause, you try to read it, and then you see if you got it correct. So pause the video, try to read this number, and then hit play when you're ready. So that's the number 379. And we should know that from place value, that's the 3 in the hundreds place, the 7 in the tens place, and the 9 in the ones place. Let's try another number. We're going to mix up some colors here. Let's try the number Pause the video and try and read that number. So that's the number 4,826. And again, now we're going into the thousands place. 4,826. How about this one? Let's try this one. Pause the video. Try that. So that's 589,047. I paused awkwardly when I read it. Let me read that to you one more time. 589,047. All right. And let's do one more for just right now. Let's try pause the video and try to read that. So that's 3,217,806. If you had a hard time with these, don't worry. You are not alone. It's really common because reading shorter numbers like those in the hundreds place or even the thousands place, okay, those aren't so bad. But once you get to all these digits, keeping track of when do you read the decimal, when do you read the digits? When do you say the place value? Like, is it 58,000? No, wait, 580,000, 9,047? Or is it 500,000, 89,000, 0, You know, I totally get it. It can be complicated. So I want to show you a few different strategies that you can try. I have right over here a place value chart that I made. Kids should always be able to build their own place value charts. Yours don't have to be colorful like mine, although it certainly helps. So let's take a look at some of these different numbers. The first one was 379. So we could write that in here in the hundreds place. 379. And what's helpful about this is if I cover up the rest of my chart here, it's pretty straightforward. 379, nothing else to it. But now let's go on to that second number that we were working with. Then we had 4,826. We, of course, had a comma in there because we do it every three places. 1, 2, 3, comma. So 4,826. So first of all, sometimes kids like to read that, pardon me, as 4,826. 4,826. That's not correct. The only time we ever use the word and when we're reading a number is if we're working with decimals, and we're not doing that right now. So it's just plain 4,826. If you're having trouble with this one, I'm going to show you a trick that's going to help you to keep it straight in your head. Let me just grab a couple pieces of paper. If you're making your own place value chart, you can do this with sticky notes or scrap paper like I'm doing. Let's go family by family. Right now, looking at all the thousands, right? And over here, we've got the millions. But right now, let's work at the thousands. I have 4,000s. You don't have to say 4 1,000s, just 4,000. And then we read this family, 826, giving you 4,826. So you go family by family. In this case, read the millions, read all the thousands, read all the technically I think this is called units, but we typically don't use that terminology much. Let's take a look at our next number that we had. It was 589,047. And like I was saying before, this is one that can really be challenging for kids because they try to read it and they say, is it 500,000, 89,047, or is it 58, 10,000, 58,000, no, wait, 580,000, 9,047. I get it. So again, let's use the same strategy that we were using before. We're going to go family by family. So if this is tricky for you, start off by blocking out everything else. You can read a 3-digit number. You've known how to do that for a while. That's 589. 589, and this family is the thousands. Let's actually label all 3 of these right now. We've got all the thousands there. We've got the millions here. And I don't typically label this section because it's not like we say units when we read these numbers. We don't say 379 units. So I like to joke with students and talk about first names and last names that, in this number, it's going to be 589,000. 589 is kind of like the first name. Thousands is the family name. And that when we get to this, it's like the musicians that go by just one name, like Bono or Cher or Madonna. So the first step, if this is tricky for you, is let's cover up the other ones. 589,047. That's it. And as you get better and better, you can just start to read it and you can kind of focus on it. 589,047. Eventually, you can do it without your hands. 589, you look for those commas because the commas are always a good clue when you're breaking up the families here. 589,047. Let's talk a little bit about that zero. Sometimes kids ask me, Mr. Moss, what do I do with that zero? Do I have to read it? Do I have to read this as 589,047? Nope, we just jump right over that zero. We pretend it's not there. Bear in mind, if I'm writing that number, I can't write 58947 because then, unless you have it in a place value chart, people are going to think it's a different number altogether without that zero. You don't want to go down that road. So the zero has a place. We need that zero. But when you're reading it out loud, you don't need to read that zero. Let's go on to that last one because I think that's really going to help us the most to really understand how this works. The one that we were looking at before was 3, 2, 1, 7, 8, 0, 6. Oh, heaven, 6. And let's put in our commas here. Again, every 3 places. 1, 2, 3, comma. 1, 2, 3, comma. Again, it's also when you're switching the families of place values. So what do we do here? Again, if this is tricky for you, then we start like this. 3,217,806. And as time goes on, you take it away. You can use your hands. 3,217,806. You can again use those commas as clues to divide it up. 3,217,806. Don't read it as 806, 806. It's just plain 806. 3,217,806. So that is my trick for reading large numbers. It takes a lot of practice. Parents, if you're watching this video, family members, if you're watching this video, don't worry if this is tough for your student at first. It takes time. They're not used to reading these large numbers. And this is a great way for you to practice, right? Throw a pad of paper in the car, throw out a bunch of digits, have the kids copy it down and say, read that number back to me while you're driving somewhere. It's a great way to get some practice with reading those large numbers. This has been Mr. Moss working with you on reading large numbers, and I hope this was a helpful guide for you. Have a great day.